Hello Tiger fans, I'm Nathan Brown and welcome to Raw Vision Review for Round 6. I'm joined today by the skipper of the Tigers, Chris Newman. Newy, how are you?
Good, thanks, Nate. Yourself?
Yeah, very good. 2 wins in a row. It was a big win because Brisbane came at you a couple of times when you got a lead, but really good to have 2 in a row going into Fremantle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Brisbane are always going to be a competitive side, and the stats show that they're not going as bad as what their position is on the ladder. So we're always cautious of the way they've been playing, and thought they'd put up a really good performance, and they did. But we got the job done in the end, and so 2 in a row now, which is really good leading into this week's game.
You spent a bit of time on the bench the week before and last week. How's the body holding up? A little bit sore?
Yeah, the body was a little bit sore. That went down with a bit of cramp in the third quarter, which I don't usually do. But so I have to get a little bit more salt in my diet, I think, this week, and hopefully, my body's 100%.
Fitter too, I'd imagine. Now, three-quarter time, they really came out to the Lions a couple of times, but they got in front just before three-quarter time. You kicked the last 2 of the third quarter. You must have been a little bit cautious, but last quarter was really good, 7 goals.
Yeah, well, disappointed with the way we went about it in the third quarter, and got ourselves back into the game and in a really good position at half-time, and I think it's the first time we've been ahead of a team at half-time, so different sort of challenge for the group, and they come back at us and made a really good fist of it, but hopefully, thankfully we got the job done in the last quarter, and I think we wasted a lot of opportunities too, so it was just really pleasing to see a young group sort of push themselves and get over the line again.
Damien Hardwick, what did he say after the game? Because he would have been wrapped with the win, but there's still a couple of areas you could work on.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was wrapped with the win, but obviously a few of our KPI areas we achieved, which was good. There was a few that were off, but he said that he was happy with the win, but obviously there was a lot of things that we can improve on going into next week, and every challenge gets bigger as the weeks progress.
Well, Damien Hardwick spoke to the press straight after the game, and this is what he had to say.
Look, our ball use was a little bit down tonight, but I think overall it's improved. Defensively, you see guys like Grimes and Rance are starting to forge a career. And in saying that, we've still got guys like David Asprey and Jaden Post down in the lower levels of Coburg. So, our depth has increased, I think, from a playing personnel-wise, but I think guys have stepped up and improved. Robbie Nahas has had a very good 5 weeks. Basher Hooley stepped in, as has Sean Grigg. So, look, probably from a talent perspective, I think there's a number of guys that improved. As a side, I think we've also improved from a playing point of view, our game style. So, we've still got a fair way to go, don't get me wrong. We didn't remotely challenge some of the top 4 sides that we played early, so got a fair way to go still.
There was a number of outstanding performances. Dustin Martin 2 weeks in a row. Nathan Foley back to form with 40 touches. And Robbie Nahas 26 touches and 3 goals were particularly good.
Yeah, really good. I think we had a really good spread again. Dustin Martin's been terrific for us. He provides that in and under sort of presence around the footy, and he loves his fend off, obviously, and uses the ball really well. Nathan Foley getting back to some really good form. I think his body is as good as it's been in a long time, so that's really good to see him up and about. And Robbie Nahas getting a little bit of reward for effort this week, kicking some goals finally for us. And I think that probably the positive thing about Dustin Martin and Robbie Nahas in particular is they're starting to hit the scoreboard, which is what we need.
We've just seen a bearded man make his demise. Where are you going? How far are you going to go with that beard, Chris?
Well, hopefully I'll have a shave when I get home, Nate. But look, I just couldn't be bothered shaving this morning for you.
Very good. Now, Jack Riewoldt, 5 goals again. I thought it was a great display of one-on-one play between him and Daniel Merritt. How did you see that role? Because I thought it was pretty even.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good tussle. I think Daniel Merritt had 17 spoils, which is a really good effort for him. And obviously a few that Jack could have taken too. So he kicked 5, but I would have thought that Daniel Merritt would be pretty pleased with his job.
Yeah, well, you've been screaming out for a small forward to chase and tackle for many years at Richmond, but Jake King was very good. We've spoken about Nahas, but I thought Nason and Matty White, all small forwards, all contribute on the scoreboard, but a lot of forward pressure. Yeah,
that's been probably the biggest positive of the year. I think our forward line's putting on an enormous amount of pressure and giving the midfield an opportunity to set up, and also the defenders. So, I think that those guys are playing a really important role in the side at the moment, and if they can keep that up, I think that'll hold us in good stead.
Brad Miller's played a few games now. Didn't have his kicking boots on the other night, but how has he added to the off-field at Richmond? Because he's one of the senior statesmen of the club.
Yeah, he's been really good. He's been fantastic, Brad, and for a guy to sort of come in and fit in as well as he has, is a credit to him as a person, and also I think the way he's going about it now, he's shown that he's still got a lot of football left in him, and just provides that big presence down forward and helps Jackie out a lot with blocks and things, and getting on the end of it. Hasn't sort of hit the scoreboard too much, but he looks like he's threatening to sort of bust out with a really big game, so hopefully that's this week.
He certainly hit the scoreboard with Peter Miller. Well done, Brad. He spoke to Raw Vision straight after the game.
Oh mate, I've got no voice. I tell you, 2 weeks singing that song, I'm lost. No voice at all. It's good, but.
And pretty happy with the way you slotted in those games and coming into the side early in the season?
Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, it's great. It's just it's awesome. It's a really exciting young group, especially having Jack play next to you. He just does things that defy logic. I just love playing next to him. It's been really good.
What are the instructions from the coaches for you to go out and are you playing a certain style, or are you just playing your own game out there?
Just bring a little bit of experience and create a contest. So if I go back and try and get a few blocks for Jack and get him free, if he's got a close defender, or a little bit of lead up as well, trying to link the back line to the forward line and do it that way. But yeah, that's how I naturally play, just trying to lead up from 50 to 80 metres.
Now, a huge challenge this week at the MCG. Fremantle, who are in really good form, but a huge chance for the Tigers to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, I think so. I think Fremantle are going to be a really good side. They've got a lot of young players that are playing really well this year, and hopefully we can get the job done. I think it's going to be a really good contest and good opportunity to beat a side that's playing some good football and in the top 8. So very much looking forward to the challenge.
You get Daniel Jackson back this week from suspension. It'd be nice to have him running back through the midfield, but got to be a concern how many times he's getting reported. Yeah,
it is. We weren't really happy with it as a leadership group, and we addressed it. As a leader himself, it's not the sort of example we should be setting for the rest of the team, and he was really disappointed in his actions, and he served his 1 match penalty, and he's a really important part of our side going forward. So for him to be sitting in the sidelines, you saw on the weekend Simon Black, he probably would have taken Simon Black, and he had a really huge impact on the game. So he'll come back into the side this week, and hopefully he stays there.
Richmond fans are out in force. 37,000 against the Lions at the MCG on Saturday night. It was the biggest crowd between the two sides, and just must be great to run out there and have the backing of so many Richmond fanatics.
Yeah, well, there was a few comments from the boys saying that it felt like there were 50,000 there, and it's fantastic for the Richmond supporters to come out and support us. Particularly with playing interstate teams, you generally don't get a big crowd there, but they're showing up, and hopefully we need to reward those supporters coming out with good performances.
Well, thanks for joining us, Chris. Good luck against Fremantle this week. 3 in a row for the Tigers. Thanks for joining us on Raw Vision Review. We'll catch you next week.